The car trip from Gangtok towards North Sikkim is a one and only exceptional memory. The road that will take you to the abode of Lachen and Lachung is North Sikkim Highway. This road terminates at a place called YUMTHANG, thereupon diverging into two tracks, one to Lachung and the other one to Lachen. Both these villages have very few families, and both these places will not fail to amaze you with a plethora of lofty mountains and patches of valleys nurturing a unique flora, thick-haired yaks and mountain shepherds. We are headed to Lachung from Gangtok today, which is a 5 to 6 hour journey. On the way, we took a few halts, one of which is a spot where we got completely enchanted by the scenic view. Hills abundant with greenery and the river Rangpo meandering its way through the foothills. Then we paused at BAKTHANG Falls, where tourists enjoy a little posing and clicking snaps. After lunch at a local place, we halted at the NAGA Falls. The white muddy waters are flowing profusely down the hills below the bridge right into Lachung River, which is a ravishing scenery. And finally, after an eventful day, we reached Lachung to our homestay, only to find that there was no electricity. The plan for today is to first drive to the localities of Yamthang for breakfast and for some shopping. This, however, also included a little socialization with the commoners, listening to the soft whispers of the pines and feeling the warmth of the morning sun. After a while, we started our journey towards Zero Point, located at an altitude of 15,300 feet. Zero Point is so called because all roads end here due to its close proximity to the Indo-Chinese border. The picturesque views of the surrounding snow-clad mountains, the vast stretches of valleys, and the early morning snowfall is what captivates tourists here. Despite the breathlessness at high altitude and terrible roads, travel lovers are never short of excitement to visit here, and a hot cup of tea while feeling the chilly winds on your skin at Zero Point is a perfect absolute bliss. Our next destination today is Yamthang Valley, which is known as the Sikkim Valley of Flowers for it being a sanctuary to a wide variety of rhododendrons and Himalayan flowers, which paints the spring in colors during the month of March and April. It is located at the edge of Lachung River, and the locality has shops selling Nepali and Sikkimese antiques. The valley also has a bounty of trees, the river tributary, yellow and green pastures and rolling meadows surrounded by the Himalayas. The view can make you sit here for hours and hours, admiring the different shades of nature. There is also a monastery nearby by the name of Yamthang Monastery, which is also worth a visit. After the day's journey, as our car strode along the winding roads towards our homestay, I noticed that there is a stark difference in the flora of these gigantic hills. They harbored pine trees, blends of ochre yellow and coral-colored shrubbery with occasional dried branches of dead trees protruding out of the bushes.
send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that you'll take it into her side.
Spending the night in what seemed to be like a lonely, uninhabited corner of the world, dawn breaks in the village of Lachung. The mountain peaks are bathing in the first rays of the sun. The town of Lachung can be seen in the distant foothills. The ancient and mysterious mountains looked like they almost dated back to an unknown timeline. After breakfast, we paid a visit to Seven Sister Falls and Amitabh Bachchan Falls, and then we set out for Lachung at a height of 8,800 feet. The town of Lachung is the base for Gurudongmar Lake and Chopta Valley. The localities of Lachung are kind and they follow a vibrant culture of fairs, festivals, and yak races. The religious involvement of people is also apparent from the presence of monasteries here and there. The roads to Gurudongmar are indeed treacherous, and we started our journey towards it early in the morning today. On the way, we drove across hills that are dry, dark brownish in texture, almost devoid of vegetation, and herd of yaks that are unique to this habitat. The moment we stepped out of our car and had a glimpse of the turquoise blue lake, we were completely awestruck. It felt like a blessing to witness this beautiful piece of paradise. This is Gurudongmar Lake at a height of 17,800 feet and is considered sacred by the local Buddhists, Hindus, and Sikhs. The lake is surrounded by mountains that remain snow-covered throughout the year. About 60 km from Lachung, it takes about 4 hours to reach there due to very bad roads. Various colored fabrics bearing prayers and chantings are hung in the vicinity of the lake. The water is crystal clear, shimmering in the sun against the backdrop of the mountains, and the blue sky is absolutely breathtaking. Precautions should be taken by tourists, especially aged people, as breathlessness and vomiting tendency is very common at the high altitudes of 0 Point and Gurudongmar. Thank you for being with us and watching the video. Meet you again in the next part of Sikkim tourism.